All right, it is recording.
All right, I'm gonna assume that whoever stays wants to go over this. So I'm gonna present here, and I'm gonna go over the Schoology calendar, and then really quick the Google Calendar appointments. And hopefully I'm not too muffled. I'm wearing my mask because shared space, you know. So let me open up here. Okay, so hopefully you can see my Schoology page here. All right, so it's gonna look slightly different from my point of view here, just because I have it kind of crunched up between the Meet and the Schoology, so I can see both sides. But if you go to the calendar, can be accessed in many different ways, but the main part would be right here. You have a calendar. Mine is hidden in more right now. So this is the main calendar. And when you go into it, if you go on a date and you decide you want to add anything to it, it gives you either event or assignment. So obviously, every time you add an assignment through the assignment pages that you're used to doing, it goes into the calendar automatically. So you don't have to change anything on that. It's already going into the calendar. The students are already seeing it. But let's say, I know a lot of math teachers use things that are outside of Schoology, so Math Excel or Delta Math or whatever it is. A lot of language teachers have their own websites where the homework is located. So for that kind of thing, if you put just an update, or if you add something into your weekly agenda, it's not going to go in the calendar. So you want to add it as an event, because that way the students can keep track of it and be able to see everything together. So for example, yes, I just saw Allie's question, and your assignments load automatically. So as long as it's a Schoology-based assignment that you add it, even if it's a Google Drive assignment that you're adding it to, if it's Schoology-based, you're good. It already goes into the calendar. So if it's not Schoology-based, or if it's something that's extra that you're giving to them that they need to do outside of Schoology, you want to add it as an event. So you can add it as whatever title you're going to give it, so they'll know what they're looking for. In the description, you can add links. So if you want to add a link to the website where they have to actually work on it, you can add it here. If you need a time when it's due, you can add a start time and an end time to it. And this is all from the main calendar that you're seeing right now. So right here, this is where it goes to. So if I start writing walnut here, everything that I'm in that has the walnut name to it, I can add to it, right? So the library course, for example, would be there. So if you have more than one course and you can add something to all of them at the same time, you can do it from the main calendar page, because that way you can just say, I want the library course, I want the book club. Oh, I deleted out. So I can add more than one here. And as soon as I create it, it's going to go over all of them at the same time. If I wanted just one, I can just put the one in there. Rsvp, it's really, you don't really need to add that, because if you're just wanting your students to see the information, this would only be if it's a real event that you want them to say, yes, I'm definitely going to that, or I'm not going to that. But it just shows up automatically. Anything that you have, either a group or a class, it shows up here as soon as you start typing. So let's say I want to just add, I don't know, one of my book club meetings. Sorry. Is that not typing in the right place? Okay. I could put a link here to say we're reading this text today, so you can access there, and then I can just, oops, I actually have a sample course because I don't want my book club to think that we have something new. And you just create here, and it goes into the main calendar. So this is mine, and you can see up here that I only have 9 of 36, and the kids are able to do that too. When you go in, all your courses and clubs show up here. So you don't want everything there all the time. But you can also color coordinate if you have, let's say, you know, your kid will have at least 6 to 7 different courses that they're going to be in. So they can choose different colors for different courses, and they'll be able to see. I'm going to add a few more here just so we can kind of see it populating. So you see, the more I add, the more it populates. And then you can see everything that's due, every meeting that you might have. And for the kids, this would be really useful, especially if they have things that are outside of Schoology, because the Schoology assignments just automatically go in there, and that makes it easy for you. You can also go through the specific course. So if you go into one of the courses, and then on the side here, you can add an event that's just for that course. So you see that that little bottom option right here is not there anymore. Everything else is the same. So you can add it, and it's just going to go to that course that you're in at that point. Let me have a look at possible questions. There's really no mystery. So let's see. Yeah, Allie, everything that you add goes in there. If it's an assessment or an assignment or a quiz, as long as it's in Schoology, it should go automatically to the calendar. So this is really for things that aren't done in Schoology. So if you have anything that they need to do that's outside of the Schoology system, you want to add it as an event, because it's the only option that will let you do that. If you don't have any more questions, this is really simple stuff. Then I'll go over the calendar appointments. I know a lot of people wanted to do that. Okay, so another thing altogether, this is going to be useful for scheduling meetings, the conference meetings with the parents. So I'm in my calendar here, and I'm in the day view, but you can do that in any view that you want. It can be the week, the month, doesn't really matter. The only thing is you do need to be using your school account to do this. Your personal account probably doesn't have this feature to it, because it is a G Suite for business and education and all of that. So what you want to do is you're going to go to the date that you want. You click on really whatever time, because inside of here you can fix it. So let's say you want to do the conferences. And this option here, appointment slots, that's what allows you to send a link to the parents where they can sign up. So you click on that. And here are some things that you do have to set up before you save it. Make sure you have the right date that you want. Pick what time you're starting. So let's say 5. And then what time you want it to end. So 8. And each slot will have a certain duration. So I'm going to do 30 minutes, but you can do less more than that. Doesn't matter. And then in more options, it just opens up a bigger page. So if you want to add a description here, you can. So if there's anything you want to say for them to know more about this, you can add it here. Then you go ahead and save that. That's going to go on your calendar, and it has this little square right here, and that means this is a slot event, right? You click on it one more time to get to this link. Go to appointment page for this calendar. When you click on that, it opens a completely different page that has the Cincinnati Public Schools symbol to it. And this is the link right here that's on the bar. That's what you want to send to the parents. When they get it and they click on it, they get to this page. So if you click on the conferences here, they can change this. So they might want to write meeting with whoever's parents, right? And they might write something down here. They don't have to. And then they save it. So for both you and the parent who picked this slot, if you go back to your calendar, it created another event right here automatically. So you click on that, and what you're able to do with each little slot that you create, you open that, and you can add a Google Meet to each one of them. So they'll get a different code for every single video. So when you're sitting there waiting for the parents to come in, you would have your calendar open, so you can click on that event and go to the right meet at the right time. So when you save that and you go back in, that is now a Join with Google Meet calendar. So this code is going to be different for each parent who gets it on their end. The only potential issue with this is that they do need a Google account in order to open the link, because once they get this, when they click on it, if they're not signed into a Google account, it will ask them to sign into a Google account. So if they don't have one, that might be an issue. A workaround that is, if a parent emails you back and says, hey, I don't have a Google account, I can't see it, you can go in and say, okay, what time do you want? And you can select that time for them and create the Google Meet and just send the link to them and say, here's the link. They would be able to access that through their phone. So you can do the Joy by Phone number and PIN. Or if they want to, I don't know, use their kids' account to go in to the Meet, that's a possibility too. That way they can just use the code that you send them. But once that's done, once you've sent that to them and they've signed up, just make sure that you create the Google Meets, and they'll be able to get to the Meet on their end, on their calendar, whereas you can get to the same codes on your calendar. It's pretty easy to set up. Like I said, I think the only problem might be all the parents can see who else signed up. I believe you can only see this information on the other end. So whatever they write here, the other parents should be able to see. So if they write anything that they don't want to share, they might want to delete it and put it in again. But really, all they need is maybe their name right here. But their email is going to show up here too. But yeah, you can see this part right here on the parents' end too. They'll be able to see it. And again, that's pretty much it. You just have to make sure that you have your calendar open once you yes, exactly, Helen. Once someone goes in, I can't click on this anymore. I can only see that it's taken. Nobody else can take that appointment anymore. So it's pretty efficient in that way. And you can make it pretty short. I know some people have been making them 10, 15 minutes. It's going to look a little clunky. They kind of overlap because of just the space on the screen. But you can make it pretty short. That's my thing. I'm done. If you guys have any questions. Let's see if there's anything. Yeah, and I'm sitting here in front of the computer pretty much all day, every day. So if you have any questions, if there's anything I can help, some people have been sending their links as a test to us, and we go into it and just see how it looks. So if there's any problems, you can do that, and we can check it out for you.
Eric, you do not need to use this setting to set up the meetings. It's completely up to you what you would like to do. This just makes it an easy way to open up those dates and those times for parents just to be able to click on a time. Mm-hmm. And then Jerry, I will be sending out the recording, and I will also post it on the Walnut staff Schoology page. And on our tech pieces too, on our tech pages.
Yeah, and there's a video that pretty much goes through this whole thing, just step by step again, and the Schoology calendar too. So you guys can look at that too. It's going to be less mumbly than I was today. You're welcome.
You know, I want to say, Akasha, I've looked at the tech bites on the resources in the library, and they are so helpful. I hadn't gone there before, which was kind of shame on me, but just even for reading it, I could set up these appointment slots. I was super proud of myself, and it was very helpful.
Yeah, I made a written guide because I'm a reader. I prefer reading the instructions than watching a video, so I figure I'd make it, you know, for everyone.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
All right, I think this is it for me, guys.
Thank you so much, Akasha. You have a great night. We appreciate your help.
Thank you.
So